Because guess what? It's Friday! Yes, we're back with www.radio-op.com. It's Friday night with Gay Detroit Radio. We've got lots and lots to talk about. Also, I'd like to give a great big shout out to a very good friend of ours, to Gay Detroit Radio, Nikki Holland. She's actually Radio OP's Band or Talent of the Week. So we're going to play her song. And just to start the show, just say hi, Nikki, and we love you. We'll talk to you soon. So we've got lots to talk about. We've also got Timothy Hauger Williams. TJ Hauger Williams, I do apologize. He's going to be on later. We had some technical difficulties a couple of weeks ago, so we've got his interview back on. So we've got lots and lots planned for today. We may even have a surprise caller. This is Nikki Holland and Secrets.
Watch me in the corners of your eyes. You're dancing here, that's why I came. I strip you naked in these pictures in my mind. My needs, my wants are hard to tame. Now I wanna run to you, pick you up between your thighs, just to hear you gasp and speak my name. Why do we run? Why do we hide? Why must I be your secret? You come back to hold on, you lock me inside, just to hear you breathing as your hips beneath me rise. Let's dance a way you've never seen. I want to creep in you, open the depth of you inside, surrounded by the musk of you and me. You saturate me with the pleasure in your cries, and I won't let go until you scream. Why do we run? Why do we hide? Why must I be your secret? You come back to hold on, you lock me inside. When your eyes, your hands, your legs, your hair, until your fingernails, I'm in you, you can go where. Keep it down, keep it down, keep it down. Promise to tell no one, play along with all the lies. If you'll say that later we can meet, and I'll keep your secret from the public scornful eyes. If that's what it takes to get relief, just know that one day I'll lay it out to your surprise. They don't really care, it's what you perceive. Why do we run? Why do we hide? Why must I be your secret? You come back to hold on, you lock me inside. With your eyes, your hands, your legs, your hair, until your fingernails, I'm in you, you know where. Keep it down, keep it down, keep it down. With your eyes, your hands, your legs, your hair, until your fingernails, I'm in you, you know where. Keep it down, keep it pleasure in your eyes. In your eyes, your hands, your legs, your hair, until your fingernails, I'm in you, you know where.
Yes, welcome back to Gay Detroit Radio. I have got one of the most interesting men in the world. He's so fun, he's so fabulous, and he's got a lot to talk about. I'm talking about Dimitris. I hope I spelled that right, or said it right, because I'm English, I know nothing, I'm white, I'm trash Actually, they call me Euro trash. You know, isn't that just
really,
wonderful?
That means you're just designer. That's a
yeah. And I get it free, honey, because I'm fucking good. So, so young man, now you talking about your play, and this was actually something I found quite interesting, because you're actually celebrating this for the Detroit Black Gay Pride. And
yes.
It's your new work, and it's called No Time for the Pain. What made you come up with that? I'm going to start with the cliches, because we need to get into that so people can understand where you're coming from, and then we can get into the silly stuff later. So, No Time for the Pain. Where did that come from?
Well, actually, the title itself is basically about folks who run from everything. You know, they refuse to take time to deal with anything. You know, one of the things that has been consistent in the piece
is that the Republican
is how
Party?
Folks run away from their problems or run away from responsibility because they don't want to experience the pain.
Yeah.
And that is life itself. Many folks use all kinds of whatever to get over it. You run to sex, drugs, rock and roll, food, shopping. Whenever, you know, you don't want to deal with something that's heartbreaking or that's sad or whatever, you know, and we just go on those emotional roller coasters.
Yeah, did you? But by the way, did you read my life story? Because you just explained my life story: sex, drugs, rock and roll, pain, and God knows what. I mean, come on. I mean, you know, is it? Are you sure this is a black thing? You know.
Okay. But see, that's just it. See, one of the things that makes this so interesting. See, of course, I have to come from an African American standpoint because that's my experience. But when you take away the cultural nuances, you know, all the little semantics that make the culture, and just look at the problems, you will see that a problem is exactly the same. Our cultural differences dictate to us how we end up handling them.
Yeah, it's called Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll and Being an Asshole.
How about that?
Yeah.
Being an ass, being a bitch, you know, all of the above.
Yeah, drugs and asshole, really, honestly. Actually, they make politicians, don't they?
Right, exactly. Okay.
Especially if it's Ted Cruz, because, I mean, let's face it, he's all about this immigration, control, and he's an immigrant. You know, I just...
You know, okay.
Do you know, may I just say this because I just find it so totally offensive. It's just that everybody's on about this immigration thing. You know, the first illegal immigrants came in 1492.
Hello.
And you know, all I'm hearing now is a bunch of retards. And actually, I'm actually insulting retards. I'm hearing a lot of selfish brats who actually think that the American dream for them to be immigrants, because we're all descendants of immigrants, and they believe that the actual American dream is only meant for them because they're now here illegal. Fuck off. Sorry. That's the way I feel. What about you?
Right. Well, see, here's my thing on it. How do you build a country when everything about this particular country has been built on lies, deceit, and corruption?
And also,
so we look at
and also slavery.
And
also slavery.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the thing is, it's not just black slavery as well, because the Irish, as well, and there's so many different forms. And when they get onto this, you know, there's genocide. There's so many different forms of it. You know, there's not one country in this world who is not guilty of genocide of one form or another. So, for fuck's sake, get over yourselves.
Everyone is still looking for perfection. For those who are traditionalists and are traditional religious creatures, the whole story of the Tower of Babel, how folks are trying to build the tower to get to God and this, that, and the other, and that there it speaks to a lot of what we see here. A lot of human culture is based on perfection. So a lot of times you have those who have been oppressed. When they get into a higher position, they end up turning into the oppressor, because now you feel that you can keep your nose up in the damn air and look down from where you came from. I've always said that the ozone layer, honey, was not caused by chlorofluorocarbons. It's caused by fuckers who got their nose in the air and then inhale too widely.
Well, actually, fully enough, I was I'm actually in a little bit of a culture war with Peter LaBarbera. I'm sure you've heard of him. He's in one of the
LaBarbera.
Yeah, LaBarbera. Yeah. I was just actually sort of in a little confrontation with him a little earlier, and he says, "Well, I fight against the homosexual activist agenda." Oh, I said, that's a little mouthy and a little wordy. I said, do you understand what that really means? I said, because if you shorten it down, the homosexual activist agenda, that really means equality.
Exactly.
And he went,
exactly.
Not one word back. And so, because fortunately with me being English and a superior little bullshitter, I actually I get away with words, so I get away with murder. But
it's your accent too.
Yeah, well, actually, yeah. Well, my typing, my typing doesn't come out, or my accent doesn't come out on Twitter. It still makes me a superior asshole, just like him.
Right. Exactly.
Well, young man, so listen, tell me about this weekend, because this is why you're here, and then we gotta go because I'm running really fast late time. I've got a couple of minutes left. So what is happening this weekend? Promote it, websites, locations, let's get it out there.
Well, everything is going on for Detroit here. Everything is happening. So for more information on Black Gay Pride celebrations, they have everything across the city, from Minjo's to the Woodward to Club Innuendo. Go to HolidayJuly.com, and you will see all of the official events for Holiday in July. You will also see the flyer for No Time for the Pain, because we are an official event. Mm-hmm. We are going down Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 8 o'clock shows Friday, Saturday. We have 2 shows on Sunday at 2 p.m. and at 8 p.m. We're going to be down at 1515 Broadway in downtown Detroit. It's a small intimate theater right there behind the Opera House. Tickets are on sale now. All are $20 each, all seats. So for more information on how you can purchase tickets, you can go to 248-688-5178. That's 248-688-5178. That's 5 More Artists Detroit. Peter Jackson is standing by to give you more information, and you can also charge tickets by phone. And also, you'll see Strong Arm Productions have some things going on. April Summers, the Patti LaBelle impersonator, she will be over at Club Innuendo. Club Minjo's is the official club for Holiday in July events, from what I'm being told. But all that could be found at holidayjuly.com.
Do you know, I couldn't have said that better myself. That was actually almost professional. Do you know that?
So... Oh, thank you very much. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay.
Demetrius, honestly, that was an absolute pleasure, because I really would like to talk to you again, because you seem like you're full of fun, you're full of knowledge, and you're shit. Simple as that.
Well, thank you so much. And let me say one more thing. For those of you who know the iconic Miss Fantasia Dior, gender illusion is extraordinaire. She's the star of our show, so you want to come out and see her.
Ladies and gentlemen, Demetrius Taylor, a.k.a. The Big Meech of Dishing with the Tea with Big Meat on Blog Talk Radio Network, and the playwright of new work, No Time for Pain, which opens July 25th, 26th, and 27th, which is today. Get your asses into Detroit, because this man is really knowledgeable, and we're going to celebrate Detroit's Black Gay Pride. Demetrius, a wonderful, wonderful pleasure. Thank you ever so much. And just stay when I close the show. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. We're going to have a little bit more news, a little more music, and we'll talk a little later. Don't forget, a little later on, we're talking with T.J. Williams-Hauger. He is really a wonderful activist. He travels all over the world. He's actually been with Joe Biden and his wife. He is unbelievably a wonderful activist who really works with trying to get Uganda and all the black African nations into coherence about not killing our brethren, our homosexual brethren. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm James D, and you're listening to Gay Detroit Radio.
Michael was 21, life had just begun. Zipped up his boots and ran out the door, jacket in his arms, looked at the stars, jumped in the car as he said goodnight, put into drive as he drove out of sight, radio blared, gel in his hair, ready for the night, the boy prepared. Pulled up to greet the club-bound spot, parked as he ran from the parking lot, ID out, he was feeling free, ready to move in the dark with his drink, entered the bar with a sense of joy, nothing could stop this boy from the love of the beat and the shuffle of the feet. He stopped as he looked at the crowd, then he said, music, it moves me, music, it soothes me, brings me to life. Music, it kills me, music, it thrills me, all through the night. Sound from the catwalk, pop from the backdrop, lord of the dance floor, fire in the disco. Give me a sign that you feel me, you see me, you hear me, dancing my life away. Ashley was 23, wanted nothing more than to dance to the beat. She had her sneakers on, hands in the air, strutting up and down those stairs. Shot after shot, she was feeling free. Let the music move her feet, moving that ass, shaking fast, making the boys say damn as she passed. Didn't give a fuck about the hate, dancing through the night to clean that slate. Stars in her eyes, smile on wide, looking for a message in the sky. Feeling so good as she dropped the step and never stopped once just to catch a breath. Didn't wanna worry, didn't wanna fight, this was a night to make it right. Pulled him to her boy as she kissed his lips, wrapped her arms around as he gripped her hips. Tension grew hot from between the two, he whispered in her ear his I love you. Her heart beat fast, she began to twirl, nothing can stop this girl from the love of the beat and the shuffle of the feet. She stopped as he looked in his eyes and then she said, music, it moves me, music, it soothes me, brings me to life. Music, it kills me, music, it thrills me, all through the night. Sound from the catwalk, pop from the backdrop, bored of the dance floor, fire in the disco. Give me a sign that you feel me, you see me, you hear me, dancing my life away. Up as you turn it up, put your hands high if you feel the touch. Don't control it, feel the soul, and don't hold back, just let it go. Let the music move you deep inside, let the music give you a sense of pride. Tonight's the night, it feels so right, so bring it to the chorus one more time. Music, it moves me, music, it soothes me, brings me to life. Music, it kills me, music, it thrills me, all through the night. Catwalk, pop from the backdrop,
Welcome back to Gay Detroit Radio. A little bit of Cullen Blue there. Nice little chappy who can sing his little socks off. We're going to play his songs for a couple of weeks, and then we're going to get him on to the good old Gay Detroit Radio and talk to him. I've got another couple of singers as well, and also I will be in the near future. Next week, there's the premiere of the LGBT Wedding Expo. That's at the Sheraton, and that's in Novi. I will tell you more about that a little bit later, because I'll be talking to them next week. And also, I think another young guy, Rick Cordero as well. We're getting these people all over the place. This is wonderful. Anyway, let's have a little bit of news, because in the next segment, we're going to talk to a wonderful young man. We were going to actually have him in a couple of weeks ago, and unfortunately we had some technical difficulties, so we actually interview him tonight. So TJ Williams Hauger, he's going to be talking to us. And he's a very, very influential young man. He's sort of an advocate for the poor, gun control, everything, and he does a lot of traveling all over the world, and also has his picture with Vice President Biden. How about that? Anyway, so let's go back to this, because in the 1970s, they had the gay cure therapy, and the ex-gay thing, and they're trying to do that now, even now. But in the 1970s, their way of curing things was actually on the national health system, mainly because they have national health care over there. You know, the government, you pay a lot more taxes, obviously, but that you get sort of national health care. And a Birmingham man in the 70s actually underwent the gay cure therapy, and this actually included electric shocks. Now, what they did was, because they tried to do this when I was a child, although mine was a little bit later. I don't know when they actually stopped it. I think it was soon after I came blasting my way out of the closet. But they also tried to do this to me, and I said, no, you're not attaching bloody electrodes to my testicles. What they do is, they did that in those days, and if you got an erection or got excited at the photograph of a naked man, you were given an electric shock. Well, unfortunately, because of this poor guy now is he's 69 years of age, and he said, because he's classified as a victim, he says, in his innocence, I thought it sounded pretty good, so we get the cure. And as it turns out, he could never, ever have a relationship with anyone because of this so-called ex-gay cure. There is no such thing as a cure to try to stop people from being homosexual. We were made the same way as you are, by God. So get over it. There's also a fired newspaper editor because of this Hobby Lobby thing, the extreme religious discrimination and retaliation. Now, this fired newspaper editor who blogged about gays and their sinful nature, he's filing a suit because he was fired. And he believes that, he can actually say exactly what he wanted, because he called gay groups the Gestapo, and he said, we must fight back against the enemy. Well, we're not the enemy. You are your own worst enemy. We only just want equal rights. We don't care what you do. You can blast your own marriages to hell for all we care. We just want equal rights. Simple as that. We can't destroy your marriage, or your religion, or your beliefs, or anything at all. You do that all by yourselves through your greed, your lack of compassion, and your selfishness. Simple as that. Now, on July 22nd, President Obama signed an executive order that prohibits federal contractors from discriminating against their employees on the basis of sexual orientation or gender identity. Despite This pressure from some conservatives, the order did not include a broad exemption for religiously affiliated organizations to engage in such discrimination. And instead of reaffirming a Bush the second era exemption that will allow a contracted religious corporation, association, education, institution, or society to continue to limit its hires to employees of their preferred religion. In other words, it's illegal now. Unfortunately, SCOTUS opened up this Pandora's box by allowing religious discrimination, and this was actually bosses telling, people what they can and cannot do with their bodies, mainly the woman, because unfortunately, a lot of these conservatives, Republicans, still think we actually can have the right to tell a woman what to do with her uterus. And on top of all this, Vice President Biden, he says, I don't care what your culture is prejudice, no matter what you hide it behind. So you can say that you're the most God-fearing person in the world, you do everything that God says, and you're not as much of a sinner as these homosexuals are. Well, I'm sorry, but you are, because you're not allowed to judge at all. Well, we heard a little bit of music from Lord of Michael Colin Blue, and Lord of the Dance Floor. Actually, in my day, it was more like Dancing Queen. Now we're Lords of the Dance Floor. Here's another little song from Colin Blue, and then we shall get into the wonderful renditions of T.J. Williams Hauger. Another interview on Gay Detroit Radio. I'm James D., and you listen to www.radio-op.com.
I've been trying to catch my breath. Lately I've been trying to clear my head. Lately I've been wondering what the fuck is wrong with me. Staring at the clouds and asking why. Why am I the one to fight inside? I wish I had the answer, but I'm no genius. And any other man would say, just trust in Jesus. I gotta find a way out of this dump that I call home. But I never try to move out my comfort zone. So I'll wait for my chariot awaits, and I'll never land, I'll never come back down again. Oh, yes, I'll wait for my chariot awaits, and you'll never see me, you won't believe me, watch me fly. Never had a love to keep me high. Never had that chance to say goodbye. Never had the nerve to speak up and say why I was crying. I was dying deep inside. I never wanted anyone to see that side. I wish I had the answer, but I'm no genius. And any other man would say, just trust in Jesus. I need to find the strength and fast, time is running low. But all I do is sit and stare, beg for hope. So I'll wait for my chariot awaits, and I'll never land, I'll never come back down again. Oh, yes, I'll wait for my chariot awaits, and you'll never see me, you won't believe me, watch me fly. Watch me fly. Chariot awaits, and I'll never land, I'll never come back down again. Oh, I wait for my chariot awaits, and you'll never see me, you won't believe me, watch me fly.
Yes, now I've got a wonderful young man. He's waiting on the line. I actually made the mistake of calling him too early because, being English, I forgot about the time zones. And you have many over here in England. You don't in England, my God, in America. In England, you don't have any. So I'm calling up at 6 p.m., forgetting that it's 5 p.m. in Chicago. So, hello, T.J. Williams Hauger. How are you?
I'm good, my friend. How are you?
I'm actually doing good. You know, I'm feeling like a fool at the moment, but I'll soon get over it. Yeah, I'm over it now. So, so young man, you've got quite a little list here behind you.
Thank you. Yeah.
And
I've been a little busy.
I was talking to you yesterday and saying, how I'd been interviewing the minority leader in New York last week. Little did I know, when I go to your blog, there's only you standing there with only Joe Biden, the Vice President of the United States, and his wife. So how did that happen?
Well, last summer I was invited to a White House Pride reception.
Mm-hmm.
And also a White House briefing.
Mm-hmm.
The White House briefing happened before the White House Pride reception. White House briefing was on LGBT equality, what's going on globally in terms of Uganda and Nigeria and the anti-gay laws.
Mm-hmm.
Valerie Jarrett, who is top advisor for the president, spoke. Gautam, who is the LGBT coordinator there at the White House, also spoke.
Mm-hmm.
And many others. There were some folks who talked about health care. Within the conversation, there was a moment where they wanted to hear from us.
Yeah.
So I raised my hand, and I said, has anyone ever thought of starting a clergy advisory team to address the anti-gay laws that are happening in Uganda and in Nigeria?
Mm-hmm.
They all looked at me. They were very pleasant. They're very polite. They said, "What an interesting idea." And that was actually all I heard.
Okay.
So I thought, certainly I'm not going to be invited back to the White House. There I go again.
Well, there you are, the shy, retiring person, as I can see. So please go on.
And my husband even said, "There he goes, messed up my last name." So, I heard from them throughout the month of August. Mm-hmm. I went to London and met with two Nigerian faith-based activists. I'm sorry, I met with one.
Mm-hmm.
Could not meet with the other one. I'm sorry, getting old and forgetting stuff.
Trust me, when you get to my age, you forget even where to pee. Go on.
I'm getting closer. The activist I met with was Davis Mullally,
mm-hmm.
Who is an Anglican, openly gay Anglican Nigerian activist, and he is bad as hell in a good way.
Yeah.
Davis is a soldier for for addressing injustice, not just to LGBT folks, but also to human rights in general. Davis and I met Davis at his house. He made a wonderful dinner of a kind of bean porridge and some chicken, and I wanted some more. That was my first Nigerian meal that I had ever had.
Sounds wonderful.
It was. I'm still kind of craving it. I need to go back to London.
You need to get the recipe.
Exactly. But he definitely proved that that diversity of the diversity that the UK has, you know.
Well, actually, no. Well, being an English guy and raised on English food, not Nigerian food, English food, where everything is overcooked and soggy. It took a while for, me to actually adapt. But then again, I've not lived in England for many years. That's my other phone going. It will get picked up in a moment. I do apologize. And, so it makes it sound live. So, I'm a very good cook because I've traveled all over the world. Being a musician, I've been very lucky to have been all over the world and tried all diverse foods and seen a lot of diverse cultures as well. So, I really do love to see other people's cultures. And I also love to try their foods because it's just wonderful. So anyway, please carry on.
Yeah. Oh, amen, amen. Well, after I met with Davis, I came back to the States. Spoke with the officials at the State Department and let them know about my meeting and about the needs. So in terms of addressing the law in Nigeria and Uganda, and the suggestions that came from Davis.
So basically, in a nutshell, how are we going to sort of try and resolve these issues? Because, obviously there's nothing we can do politically yet, or as yet. And they're sort of trying to sort of put embargoes on a country that really doesn't care about people in the first place. How are we going to go about it?
Yes. I believe that the key to doing this is changing the culture. And we change the culture by reaching out to store owners, to ministers, to soldiers, to everyday folks, to mom and grandfathers, and we begin to change the culture that way.
Oh, yeah, but how good is that going to be? Because, let's face it, we have different cultures over here, and we're trying, we've got people over here who refuse to bake cakes or trying to, serve gay people. This is supposed to be a culture which is cosmopolitan and free-thinking and quite educated, but unfortunately, we're finding it's quite the opposite.
I think that the key to it is outing some of those voices, some of those LGBT or allied voices that are already there in those countries, and that are supportive to getting rid of the anti-gay law in Uganda, to attacking all the stuff that's happening to LGBT folks in Nigeria and the other 79 countries. Getting in touch with those folks, really allowing those voices to become dominant, and then having American voices behind those voices.
Yes.
In support of those voices, to say to the nation and to say to the nations, to say to the community leaders that there are religious folks who have a different narrative to tell in terms of tradition and in terms of religious ideology.
Do you think you'll actually get invited to the United Nations? Because that would be a great place to start speaking, because there are plenty of other countries where actually they are allies of the LGBT. In fact, as you know, the United Nations has now started paying its staff in the benefits. So would you be able to try and get an appointment there? Is that something in the future you can think about?
Yes, I'm actually supposed to be, and in fact I have to raise the money, I'm supposed to be spending my final weeks before fall semester starts there in New York at the UN, helping with the International Peace Conference.
Okay. Well, that's good.
And
Well, do you know what? Let's
Go
have a
ahead.
look. Now, you've got other little talents as well, so I mean, we just don't want to keep it all doom and gloom, but I'd like to. You actually sent me a song as well, and I'd like to play that because I've heard it and I think it's quite good.
Okay, yes.
Explain the song to our lovely listeners, and then we'll play it.
Yes. About 12 years ago, I was crying to my mom. You know how we gay boys are. Our moms are our queens.
Mm-hmm.
And someone had passed away, and I said, Mom, you know, I really having a difficult time with this.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, you know, well, you can't. You have to understand. You have to accept that you can't separate the cradles from the grave.
That's right.
And that at the end of the day, it is about love. It is about love that leads us and that holds us up in the bad times and the good times. So from her words, I wrote a song called In Between.
Mm-hmm.
In between the cradles and the graves, there is love. In the midst of the journey, in between birth and in between and to death, there is love that keeps us strong and it helps us move on, and that holds us up in the good times and in the bad.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. In Between by T.J. Williams Hunger.
Got a phone call yesterday. It seems a friend has passed away. And I find myself asking why people live just to die, when it seems there is no reason, no purpose worth living. God gave me this song to ease my mind. And in between the start and finish of, and in between grows reason to love, and in between the race is won, in between the battle's won. So we live our lives. Long ago, there lived a man who brought a sense of hope to a hopeless land. And people would just sit and cry as he spoke to them with loving eyes. But the state of the world demanded his death, and we all knew it was time. And in between the start and finish of, and in between grows reason to love, and in between that, so he hung in between. Oh, in between the start and finish of, in between grows reason to love, and in between the race is won. In between the battle's won. In between the race is won. In between we learn to love. Oh, in between.
Yes, welcome back. and we do have... Actually, that was a great song. That was a song called In Between by T.J. Williams Hauger. Right, briefly, give us some information about... You need some donations to your cause.
Yeah.
Give some people that so we can send you some money.
Yes, thank you. As an activist, as an independent activist who is still in grad school, so with 2 more years to go before I earn my Master's of Divinity, the travel associated with going back and forth to Washington, D.C., of course, next week I head to Canada, to Ontario, Canada, to attend a meeting with the Baptist Peace Fellowship.
Okay.
So, and then a week after that, of course, spend my last 2 weeks in New York City at the UN.
Okay.
So these things are really expensive in terms of the airfare and also in terms of lodging.
Yes, well, you do have to stay somewhere. That's right.
Yes. Oh,
Actually, it's a pity I didn't know you because I'm actually just across the water from Ontario because we have the ferry going to Canada from us just down the street. So next time, you just let me know. You can come and stay with me. It's cheaper.
Thank you. Hotel fee.
and I can cook as well. I make a real mean barbecue. That's good.
Oh, amen. And you know what? I am a friend of the swine.
Oh, okay. Well, so give us some information because you've done some really good work. You've raised actually just over $4,500. Your goal is to get to like 25.
Yes.
Lots and lots of donations here from many people. So tell them how to get in touch with your organization, and it's GoFundMe, I believe.
Yes, definitely. So as an independent activist, I guess I could be known as the LGBT version of a civil rights leader, like an LGBT Jesse Jackson, only without the children and the wife. And, you know,
I'm following. I'm following.
Okay. But with all due respect, I love me some Jesse Jackson. But definitely, you know, I need to garner funds and donations to pay for the travel and to pay for the lodging. So I'm asking folks to please go to the GoFundMe account.
Also, could this be classified as a tax write-off as well?
No, actually, because I'm not.
You're
not a file.
Okay, all right. Go to your website.
Yes. Go to the website at www.gofundme.com, and that is the little /18T700, or they can Google T.J. Williams Seminary Justice.
Okay.
And all of the money, all of the funds, will go towards schooling, towards travel, towards lodging. I even have a cultural trip that I will be taking in December to Israel, hopefully if the fighting will stop, to learn about Israeli and Palestine relationships and how to have a conversation about peace.
Okay. Well, it seems like you're a busy boy because, you're all over the world.
Yeah.
You know? So give your website again, please, and then I want to discuss something else with you.
Yes, definitely. It is www.gofundme.com /18 T as in Tom 700.
Also, you can do that on Facebook as well, can't you?
Yes, I can.
Yes. Do gay? Was it GoFundMe at Facebook? Because a lot of people now know that. That's pretty easy. Is that actually?
Yes. Or you can Google T.J. Williams Seminary Justice, and the website will come up.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put your website on mine, and then people can go to my website and just find out what everything is as well. Now, you, as a little dark horse that you are, I found out something that, because you told me, you let it slip, you were actually the second couple, I believe, in New York to get married when same-sex marriages were passed. How cool was that?
Oh my gosh, that was awesome. We raced to the altar. And we also did it at the Riverside Church. We were the second couple, but also the first couple at the historic Riverside Church, which is in Upper Manhattan, the church that Dr. King spoke from the pulpit, that Desmond Tutu spoke from, the church that was the first Baptist church in America to become open and affirming to LGBT folks in 1978.
Sweet.
So yeah, we were the first ones. We walked down the aisle. We also organized our service to speak prophetically on unity between the African American and the LGBT community. And folks can read about that journey by finding the Out magazine article.
Now, I want to ask you a little personal question, because obviously, things are happening over here as well. And the major thing at the moment now is for religious discrimination. Apparently now, the Nazi or the neo-Nazi homosexuals are now attacking the Christians. And Hobby Lobby has got this ridiculous law passed about religious discrimination. What are your thoughts on that?
Wow. That they should be exempt, that folks should not use religion, faith, tradition, block the rights of anybody. Be that LGBT folks are our sisters. And I think that using faith language and using faith tradition makes people think that it's going to be all of us. When there are a lot.
Well, you see, what really gets me is just I'm really pissed off is that they're using faith again to try and browbeat everybody, because unfortunately now, just because we're gay doesn't mean to say that we don't believe in God. Yes, we do. I mean, I believe in God. It's just that I don't believe in humans' versions of God's rules. That's the problem with me. I do believe in God, but a lot of these religious organizations are just a little bit too powerful and too picky and too oppressive with their ways.
They are. Instead of, doing liberation, and instead of speaking up for the least of these, for folks who are marginalized in our world, we are creating the marginalized, and we're speaking up and supporting domination.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty bad place for religion to be.
Yeah, like I said, religion has been all-powerful for many, many years, and I think it's because they feel as though they're losing their power, that they feel to be just as antagonistic now. I really honestly, because at one time they didn't allow people who were divorced to go into church. They weren't allowed to take communion. And they found out that their flocks were declining rapidly. And if you don't have a congregation, you don't get any money. So that's why they started allowing people, divorcees, back into the church. Some are allowing communion now. That's in the Roman Catholic faith. Do you see that eventually religions are going to have to say, we've got to accept this, otherwise we're going to lose everything?
Say that one more time, I'm so sorry.
Do you find that religious organizations are eventually going to have to come to grips in the 21st century, basically, and accept equality for everyone? Because that's really how religions and people do survive.
Yes. They had to do it when... it was about women in leadership. So in terms of Protestant folks, they had to do it when it was about liberation of African Americans and an end to Jim Crow. Because again, religion was very much, especially Southern religion, was very much supportive of domination and of oppression towards African Americans.
Well,
so they had to change over time.
I know, that's the problem. And unfortunately, young man, we're really running out of time. I would love to speak to you again. I'd love to do another interview with you. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got TJ Williams Hauger. Please give your website once again.
www.gofundme.com /18T 700, or Google TJ Williams Seminary. TJ Williams Seminary.
There we go.
What was it? TJ Williams Seminary and Injustice.
Thank you once again, William. Thank you ever so much, and I do hope to talk to you soon. And I promise you, I'll give you a call, and we definitely will have a wonderful interview. TJ Williams Hauger, thank you very much, and thank you for talking to Gay Detroit Radio. Thank you. What a wonderful, wonderful guy. Well, we're running out of time, so basically, I'd like to say thank you for listening to the show. Next week, we actually do have a wonderful, wonderful band called the Jane of Arc. That's a duo. They're going to be talking to us online at the show at Gay Detroit Radio next week. And we've got some songs of theirs to play as well. So we're going to have a real good time. This is James D. listening to Gay Detroit Radio, www.radio-op.com. Even I'm forgetting my bloody name now. And don't forget, we'll be here next week at 9 o'clock. That's every Friday night at 9 o'clock. I do hope you've enjoyed the show. And I will see you next week. We're going to play out with a song, or with the intro. It's really, but I'm really running out of time. But thank you ever so much. And I'll see you all next week. Bye. Oh, and by the way, thank you to my director, Joe Garofalo. He makes me sound good. Thank you. Bye-bye.